Benfica, Roma, Getafe and Lorient. 4 different clubs, 4 different countries, all had a great time. It's new tactic time. Let's go. How's it going, folks? It's a new tactic, a new style for you to think about today. It's not either narrow or wide, it's kind of a bit of both. Now, I've tested this with a few clubs. First up is Benfica. Now, maybe not surprisingly, we won the league. Benfica have got a really good squad, so they took that down pretty comfortably. Over 2 goals a game and a good defensive record as well. They did lose the 6 games, but in the big games, they came up clutch. For example, Porto got a good scene too. I mean, look at the match stats as well. And with 10 men for a bit of the match. Battered them. A couple of massive results in the Champions League, including demolishing Bayern Munich at home, which got us through that group. Overall, a nice season with Benfica, champions and double winners, knocked out by Chelsea in the Champions League. Nothing special though, right? Let's get over to Roma. This is where I built the tactic, believe it or not. We started at Roma. I was trying to build a 4-2-4. I was having some mad results like that one there against Atalanta, and that's in the cup final, by the way, 9-1, but it still wasn't quite right. They see the league with the 4-2-4, losing too many matches, so I'll go back to that one, but then I did start tweaking it off that 4-2-4.
3 days later.
So we tweaked it and started the new season, and as you can see, Roma took down the league and they only lost twice. In fact, that's one of the most impressive Serie A seasons I've had. We won 30 out of 38, only losing 2, scoring 103 times and only conceding 24. So the best for and against record in the entire league. And you know what? Over 100 goals, but they shared the goals around. There wasn't someone getting 50 goals or anything like that. You can probably see there, Dybala and Abraham got themselves over 20, but there wasn't an absolute dominant force. They were proper spread out. So then, let's try it at a harder club. Off we went to Lorient. I think they've predicted to finish 15th, something like that. No idea why I picked them. I just wanted the challenge. And we are the best of the rest in Ligue 1. Take PSG out of it, we won the league because they don't count, right? Speaking of PSG, I feared the worst when Messi and Mbappe combined after 30 minutes to put them in front. But fear not, fear not. The boys got into their groove. Lovely through ball, Bamba Dieng. This, for the record, is 1-1. Little corner, Ligoff takes. Boom, let's have you. 2-1 up. The counter-attack started to flow. There's Dieng providing this time. And unbelievably, we're 3-1 up against PSG. But wait, there's still time for more. 92nd minute. Messi, Neymar, get off the pitch because the boys are coming through and Dieng smashed it in. 4-1 against PSG. Add to that a 6-2 demolition of Marseille. Yep, I thought we're onto something here. Next up, we tried it in La Liga with Getafe. Predicted to finish 13th, they bumped it up because of where we finished, and it was one of the best seasons I have seen from a tiny club. We finished 2nd in La Liga ahead of Barca, Sevilla, Valencia, Atletico. Only Real Madrid were top of us. 80 goals winning, 2nd best in La Liga, again just behind Real Madrid. And speaking of Real Madrid, we only went and beat them at home despite going down to 10 men. In fact, the season went pretty well right the way through. There we can see that Real Madrid game. There's a Barca game just after Real Madrid. We only lost 4-3 away. As we go through the season, look at that run we had, including, down here, beating Atletico Madrid away from home. It was a booming result later on. Home to Barca, we drew. Away to Real Madrid, we drew again. Home to Betis, we smashed them. Later on, Girona got hammered by 8 out of nowhere. Booming season overall, finishing 2nd. That's a hell of a result. So we've established she works, but listen up, dudes. I prefer it with a team that's less than the elite. I did try it with Dortmund and it was a fail. I won't lie to you, it was a fail. They couldn't get it going. Roma, probably the best team that we used, got it going on. But the most success I had was with Getafe and Lorient. So if you've got like a mid-underdog style of team, I think this is the way to go. We shall start with the defence, and as we can see, we've got a couple of very aggressive fullbacks. One side, we've got a wing-back on attack. On the other side, we've got a complete wing-back. You'll see why he's complete as we go further up the pitch. Next to them, standard central defender with a ball player. Not essential, but if you've got one, by all means, get him used. Now in front of them, we've got this play here. Now, Arambury as a halfback. I'll let you know that with Roma, when we were a better team, this role was actually a deep line playmaker. But when we used the underdog teams, slotted in that halfback, which let the wing-backs bomb forward, worked Super. Volante on attack next to him is going to be a big threat going forward. Now, as we move into the midfield strike, you can just see one man, a Mazzala, on attack because there's no one outside of him. So the Mazzala will combine with the complete wing back to supply the width down this side. Very key role. If you can get a left footer, even better. But remember, you cannot invert this tactic if you need to and switch them all to opposite sides. No problem at all. And now we move to the forward bunch. So you can see the inside forward, who is one of the remains of the 4-2-4 tactic. There was an inside forward there, an inside forward there, but I just couldn't get it completely solid. We will go back to that. But he remains, and that's the role I use Dybala in. And up front, I've got two advanced forwards. I very rarely use two such aggressive forwards, but because this tactic kind of worked with inside forward popping in here and Mazzala getting really far forward, I could kind of afford to use them. And I will show you the first player instruction here on Mata. You can see I've got tackle harder in like I do for all my attacking players, but he's got mark specific position on as well, which is the opposition fullback, which means he'll drop into here as well, helping out that other side. There we have it in his full glory, dudes. I told you it was kind of not narrow and not wide. It's kind of a hybrid of the two. And you can see in the top corner in the team instructions, it's supposed to be the update of the Roma 4-2-4. But I got carried away. Instead, I've built this. Now, you might think, is it a monstrosity? If we go to the analysis tab, now that tells me that all gaps around the pitch, there's half spaces if you like. Sorry, Tim Sherwood. So the half spaces are all covered, which is what I was aiming to do. Remember what I said, the advanced forward will drift wide as well. So down this left-hand side, you're going to have Mazzala, complete wing back, and advanced forward covering that area. Remember, play instructions will be at the end of the video, so you can jot them all down. The actual full download for the tactic will be in the Manager's Seat Discord. My YouTube channel members will already have it. So mentality is balance. Obviously, you can change that. You can drop to cautious for tough away games if you see fit. Shorter passing, just so they don't give it away as much. I've got that higher tempo cranked up. With bigger teams, I can drop that down to lower if we're dominating the match and I want to be a bit more patient, but we keep it on higher, especially for these underdog teams. We've got focus play down both sides. But on the left-hand side, to try and get the Mazzala involved a bit more, I've stuck an underlap left on. You can take that out if it's not fitting your team. Just something I wanted to try. In transition, you'll see I've got distribute to playmaker. Now, we don't necessarily have a playmaker in the team. Remember, I made this with Roma and I've used the deep line playmaker in that spot there. But what I found when I watched the Getafe, this guy here was still dropping deep in between the two centre-backs and receiving the ball, so I kept it on. We go with standard and high press. It's a little combination I like. I haven't triggered the press too crazy, just more often, prevent the goalkeeper distribution. Pretty simple stuff. Like I said, it's a bit of a funny this one. It was supposed to be a 4-2-4. It's ended up being, I don't know how you describe it. Really enjoyed playing it with them underdog teams. Some higher teams just did not work with. Roma, it was beautiful. Super solid. Not the spectacular jaw-dropping 9-1 result, but wins all the way through. If you give it a go, let me know. Tweak it to your heart's content. Remember, it is in the TMS Discord. And there'll be more soon. And here's them player instructions before I forget.